And now for the last Wrinkly's Armchair Companion for the year. If you're a aging wrinkly like me, you'll have great sympathy with this particular article because it's happened to me all the time. It's handy gadgets that will drive you insane. It seemed like a good idea at the time, long-handled toenail clippers to save you bending down or adopting a yoga-style position before you could get on with the pedicure. Apart from the fact that they looked terrifyingly like a set of long-handled garden secateurs that could lacerate a limb without a by your leave, you had failed to take into account the fact that if your foot was not either 2 inches or 8 feet away from your eyes, you couldn't clearly see your toes anyway. Ha! So much for progress. But over the years, you seem to have accumulated a small armoury of useless items that, far from making your life easier, have actually made it more infuriating. It probably all started with the teas made. If you needed a machine to make the tea for you, why did they invent marriage? It doesn't make any sense. And with the advent of the microchip, boffins have been beavering away at newfangled this and newfangled that in order to make our lives easier. Well, perhaps they would do if you could ever lay your hands on the flipping things when you needed them. In the meantime, your house resembles the stock department for the innovations catalogue. So let's present here the myth and reality of useful gadgets. Myth: a handy device to transfer all your old vinyl records to CD. Reality: you now have CD tracks that jump and make a sound like someone cooking up a full English breakfast. Myth: the portable doorbell. Oh, we know about this, don't we, Hilary? Handy for when you are gardening. Every time someone calls at the front door, the reality is you can hear a faint, distant ding-dong, but you can't quite place where it's coming from. Myth: slippers with torches on the front, handy for those midnight toilet excursions. Reality: first you still have to find your slippers in the dark, plus you can stub your toe just putting them on. Myth: the timer clock on the cooker that will tell you when dinner is ready. This only seems to go off, is the reality, when you're on the phone or on the toilet. Myth: the TV remote control to save you from getting out of your armchair to switch channels. Reality: you spend 10 minutes hunting for it under the sofa, down the back of the armchair, all over the place, etc. Another myth: the food mixer, handy for whizzing up winter soups. The injuries you have sustained from trying to clean those razor-sharp blades have persuaded you to go back to canned soup. And finally, the telephone answering machine to field those unwanted calls. Hardly any bugger leaves a message these days, so you still have to get up during your favourite TV programme to dial 1471 because the suspense is just too much. So much for useful gadgets.